Tom Aspinall has come out swinging with harsh words for Jon Jones, making it clear he has no interest in ever facing him. Aspinall says he won't give Jones the opportunity, doesn't even want their names linked, and finds the whole idea dull and unworthy of attention.
Literally a week after you become champion and everything seems to be moving in this direction, Donald Trump announces that they're going to the White House. And like a day later, Jon Jones says, I'm back. And now all the talk is, I'm out of retirement. I'm getting tested. Did you chuckle at all this? Did you literally days after all this goes down, he says, okay, I'm back after all. What do you make of all this?
Oh, mate, it's just boring. It's just so boring. I don't even have a comment on it. It's boring as hell. Don't want to talk about it.
Like you just probably rolled your eyes and moved on, right?
I've already got a fight, so I'm focusing on that. That's the way that I like micromanage things so well mentally, is that like for the next 10 weeks of my life, all I'm thinking about is like Ciryl Gane and how to beat him. Like even what you said about his coach, what you said or didn't say, it doesn't matter because I'm fighting Ciryl and that's all that matters really. No matter what anybody said or done or what's happened in the past is all pretty irrelevant at this point because we're going to fight each other and that's all that really matters.
And I promise this is the only other thing I'll ask about it, but now it's become Jon versus Tom would be the biggest fight ever at the White House, and even Dana has talked about it, that would be the wish list. Is that something that you even think about or use as like that could be a goal, or because of the past year you won't allow yourself to even get too worked up over that?
Do you want me to be honest?
Please.
It has spent 0 seconds in my mind.
Okay.
And it's a fight that will never happen. He's too busy focusing on fights that actually matter. For months, the MMA world has been buzzing about Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, especially after whispers of a UFC card at the White House.
I was retired. I felt like I was at a place where I've done it all in the MMA space, and felt like there wasn't too many more challenges for me, and I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. And Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House garden, and that just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, and this is my act of I can't call it service, but just to be able to entertain the country and the world at this level at the White House, it just means the world to me. So I'm back.
I love that.
I'd love it too. Has anybody fought at the White House before, like officially?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I heard there was a boxing match many years ago at the White House.
Okay.
MMA will be the first.
All right, so what's the get back been like? Because if you retire and then come back, that's got to be crazy.
Yes, it's been difficult and different. Everything hurts,
Hey, so they've announced this White House UFC fight. What do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Very exciting.
Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be on that fight.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. I feel like it'd be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is. So would you be okay with him coming back, potentially winning that belt again?
I thought about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House.
This is a matchup that fans will never see. Aspinall says he's only interested in battles that truly count. Still, for months the MMA community has been stirred by talk of a Jon Jones-Aspinall clash, fueled even more by rumors of a possible UFC event at the White House.
That's it.
That's it. I'm not interested, mate. Not interested. And the world shouldn't be interested either, because what's the point? It's just false hope.
What about just you at the White House? Forget about him. Does that interest you?
Not particularly. It doesn't not interest me, but it doesn't really interest me, to be honest. I'm not really fussed where I fight. I'll fight anyway. It doesn't really bother me. It'd be a cool experience, but I'm not like, I feel like the Americans should get the shot at the White House.
Sure.
I'm not American. Trump and the political stance in America doesn't really bother me at all, to be honest. So, Yeah, I'm not really like a big Trump supporter, or I'm not against Trump. Like, I don't know anything about American politics. I'm not American. I don't live there. I don't reside there. I don't do anything there apart from pay taxes and fight there. So really all of that stuff just is irrelevant to me, to be honest with you.
In other words, you'd prefer Wembley, Tottenham Hotspur, Old Trafford.
Mate, if we could take Old Trafford. You're talking to a bloody City fan.
Oh, sorry. So I mean, you're kind of just sort of like a casual fan, if we're being honest. No,
in the Etihad Stadium. No.
Okay,
come on, bro. I'm going to a game next week. Actually.
Oh wow,
a game next week.
Your son got you into it, right?
Yeah, and I follow. Big fan. I'm following
Jon Jones. You don't know where you stand. Dana said it's the biggest fight in UFC history now. So
yeah, I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm ready to fight whenever they tell me. So just let me know. I'll be there.
Everyone thinks you're a bit of like a quintessential good guy. Could we see a heel turn at some point in the MMA world?
We might do. Who knows? Who knows?
Fans have begun picturing the dream heavyweight clash, but Aspinall has ended that speculation with blunt honesty. He made it clear he has no desire to headline a White House card if Jon Jones is the opponent, insisting Jones would never step up anyway. As Aspinall put it, there's no point chasing a fight that has zero chance of becoming reality.
One good thing to come out of this for Tom Aspinall, other than the heavyweight title, is kind of his aura now. When the greatest of all time won't even step in a cage with you, it builds up who you are, right? You have that fear factor of the guy who everyone was scared of is scared of him. How fucking good is Tom Aspinall? Very good is the answer. And it's funny because in all of the posturing that Jon did, in the tweeting and the interviews, and I don't care, I don't want to fight him, he doesn't do anything for all of that coping that we witnessed, where he was trying to say everything he could to make himself feel better about not wanting to fight this guy, and telling us all how unbothered he was in fighting Tom Aspinall, showed exactly how bothered he was. Because Jon Jones, like, you know, even though he thinks he's smart, he's a child, right? And he doesn't realize in all of that coping, we can read him like a fucking book. And all he's done is kind of promoted Tom Aspinall for an entire year.
The silent assassin of the heavyweight division.
Okay, well then why didn't he fight him? If Jon's not scared, and we believe that, and it wasn't about money, then how do we interpret the refusal of doing it?
This is where the real frustration shows. Aspinall isn't bitter toward Jones. He's just finished with the endless chatter. He refuses to waste his best fighting years stuck in a cycle of hype, delays, and letdowns over a matchup that will never materialize.
Then I had his head coach, Fernand Lopez, on the program, and it was all going kind of well. And then it started to get a little spicy on his part, where he said that your talk has been annoying, that you've been whining, that it's not true, that you guys weren't in talks to fight, 3-4 times in the past. Did you see any of these comments, and did you have any sort of response to them?
Well, somebody told me about them. I didn't see them. I'm trying to. I try and stay off social media when I've got a fight coming up. So yeah. I'm not like reading through all the time. My response to them is, with all due respect, I respect coaches so much, especially really high level coaches. But with all due respect, like, his opinion is quite irrelevant to the situation. Like, I'm just telling the facts from what I know and my point of view. I'm not, trying to get under anyone's skin or anything like that. Like, that's the reality that I lived. But irrelevant to what happened or didn't happen, like, that's in the past, and we're fighting each other now. We're fighting each other in October, so irrelevant to what anybody says, who's annoyed and who isn't annoyed, and whose feelings are hurt and whose feelings aren't hurt. We're going to fight each other and settle it regardless, so it's pretty irrelevant, with all due respect.
One thing that I thought was really interesting, and I don't know if he was trying to play mind games, but he said there's never been more pressure on anyone than the pressure that will be on you come October 25th, because of all the talk over the past year of you being the real champ and Jon Jones ducking and all that. You have to sort of validate all of this with a dominant win. What do you make of that statement?
That's great, because I fight really, really, really well under pressure. There's a couple of types of guys. I've been around martial arts for my whole life, near enough at this point. And, there's the guys who I've trained with, from my experience, who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters. And they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself who are not that good in the gym, but get under the lights, get under the pressure, with all the chips on the table, and they get in there and do things that they would never be able to do in the gym. And that is exactly what I do, and I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths. So anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. And if he believes that, that's a fantastic thing for me.
So in other words, if he's trying to put that pressure, it's not going to work on you. These mind games aren't going to work.
Oh, talk's just talk to me, mate. Doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So
Jones is no longer on Aspinall's radar. His focus is firmly on Ciryl Gane this October in Abu Dhabi, with the interim heavyweight title at stake. Tensions are already building, especially after Gane's coach accused Aspinall of fabricating claims that Gane once avoided him. Aspinall has previously said the UFC offered the matchup, but Gane declined. Now, Gane's team insists that never happened. Aspinall's response? He isn't fazed. To him, the back and forth is meaningless. The only thing worth caring about is what happens inside the cage on fight night.
Tom Aspinall is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What's the first step for him?
You give him the one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if Jon Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
I think you're absolutely right. Fight that makes sense. Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Let's make that happen. Ciryl Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Wigan, the one and only Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Na. Tommy Aspinall, Tommy, defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Ciryl Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years. Well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home, and so they oblige. And you'll recall a few weeks ago I said, it's looking like Magomed and Alex, October 4th. It's looking like Tom versus Ciryl, October 25th. And it's looking like JDM versus Islam in New York. That would be the next pay-per-view. Now, that hasn't been officially announced. That hasn't been signed, sealed, and delivered. But at this point, I would be surprised, considering how the chips just fell earlier today. I would be surprised if it doesn't play out that way.
Aspinall will face Ciryl Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick. He's agile. He's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against Jon Jones, and that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall. You never know, he could clip him. This is a dangerous fight. This is heavyweight MMA, but Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter.
What are your thoughts on Ciryl Gane being potentially the toughest opponent yet for you? A lot of people say somebody you've not really sort of faced that type of fighter in the heavyweight division.
I think both me and Ciryl are we both have niche style for heavyweights. We don't fight like heavyweights, both of us. So this could be the fastest, the best moving heavyweight fight that anybody's ever seen. We're both great movers, we're both light on our feet, we're both elusive. So this is going to be great. And by the way, all this stuff that I've just said previously, we actually made a video this time last year, a little bit longer, when we found out that Manchester was going to come and there was going to be an event in Manchester. When I thought I was fighting Ciryl Gane, but he declined it, we made a video there over a year ago now. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe it on the timeline, look, got my teeth done now. Look at the old video. You want to zoom in on them?
Hold on.
Got my teeth done.
Let me get right in there.
I got the teeth done now. When I did this video, this was over a year ago. Didn't have my teeth done then, so get over there.
If Gane can keep the fight standing and use his movement to frustrate Aspinall, we could be in for a long, tactical battle. But if Aspinall closes a gap early and drags it to the mat, this could end before Gane ever finds his rhythm. And here's the twist. If Aspinall dominates in Abu Dhabi, the noise for Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall will only grow louder. Yet, from everything Aspinall has said, it simply won't matter. He's not chasing Jones. He's not waiting for Jones. And is certainly not begging for a fight he believes will never happen. To him, Jon Jones is a past. Ciryl Gane is a present. And in Abu Dhabi, Tom Aspinall plans to prove to the world that the heavyweight future belongs to him.